guys, thank you for tuning in. First, you want to start off by prepping your eyebrows. So with a spoolie, just brushing them backwards, just getting them nice and slick in the direction the hairs should go. And just want to, of course, do both eyebrows. My eyebrows are pretty thick. Usually I have them skinny, so. And starting as close to the eyebrow lining as possible, you're just going to start the outline of your eyebrows. And also just start filling them in. It is best recommended to take lighter strokes towards the end of the eyebrow. Typically it's usually a little darker compared to the beginning of the eyebrow. So the end you can go in more heavier, but as you get closer to the inner part of the eyebrow, the beginning of the eyebrow, you just want that to be lighter, for it can have more of an ombre effect from light to dark as it goes from the beginning of the eyebrow to the end of the eyebrow. And it's just really about your preference, how you like your eyebrows. I know I sometimes do mine different almost every time. So it's really about preference. All makeup is just about preference. You really can't go too wrong. And don't really worry about making too many mistakes. When you add your concealer, you definitely will be able to perfect your craft. It will work as an eraser. Now I'm just going in and filling in any areas that need to be filled in and brushing the hairs back. My tail on that eyebrow is I really don't have a tail on that eyebrow, so I tend to just go in with that darker. Could have made it thicker, but it's all right. Then I'm just gonna go in with my LA Girl concealer. I'm not sure what color this one is in, but you can get the LA Girl Pro Concealer at any beauty supply store. It's only $3.99, so it doesn't have to be anything too expensive, too fancy. The brush that I am using is a e.l.f. concealer brush, so it's pretty flat, pretty easy to get that concealer outlined under your eyebrows. Once again, that's the e.l.f. brand concealer brush. Once again, you can find that at a drugstore. They're not hard to find at all. And once you get that outlined really good, you just want to get the concealer pretty smooth under there, under the eyebrow. And I am patting the concealer down with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. So you just want to pat it just to get it into the skin pretty smoothly. I am priming my eyelids because I want it to be nice and bright so that when I do apply the eyeshadow, the colors will pop. And you just want to pat that down as well just to make sure it's blended pretty good on the eye and under the eyebrow. And yes, it looks crazy now. It's gonna look crazy for a little minute. Kind of look like Angry Bird, but it's okay. We gonna get there. And just do the same thing to the other side. It's so crazy because I'm right-handed and I always do I'm ambidextrous as well. So as you can see, I'm using both of my hands. But I'm predominantly right-handed, but I usually always do my left eyebrow the best. So yeah, gotta see. And I do use the Fenty Fenty Foundation in the color 370. And since it's starting to get cold, I'm going to be using tone 360, which is very similar, just it doesn't have much of a red undertone, because in the winter, like, I get really yellow. But right now I'm still using my 370. I feel like it still looks pretty good. So I personally do not like to use the concealer over the brow. Instead, I just use that foundation to outline the brow. So that way it won't look too bright, like over, you know, the whole surrounding of your brows. You know what I mean. This is my infamous Jacalyn Morphe palette, Jacalyn Hill Morphe palette. It is the best. I recommend everyone get one for your makeup collection. It has very beautiful colors, and they're just really convenient. Just want to start off with e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, and you just pretty much pack that in the corner and fan it out on your crease, in your crease, should I say. And you want to really make sure that color is, you know, pigmented, really on there smoothly. So make sure you're working that brush and just going over the area that you want that specific color to be positioned. And to avoid those harsh lines, just to make it easier for transitioning, I am feathering over that color with a clean brush. It is my Morphe M514 brush. It's really dense, so it makes it easier to diffuse the color, to give it that smoked out look. And then I went over that color with a lighter brown color, just to give it more of that ombre effect. The closer you get to the eyebrow, the lighter you typically want your color to go. It just looks better, in my opinion. So with a lighter brown for both eyes, so just with that Morphe 514 brush, I just went over that same color with a lighter brown just to give it an ombre color. And that way both of the colors are blending in really well. With that same 514 brush, I'm just packing down the color in the corner. And now I'm going to do the cut crease with that same brush that we put the concealer under the eyebrow with. And that's the e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush. Cut creases are sometimes hit or miss for me. Honestly, this was not my best cut crease, but I didn't think I did too bad. Me and my boyfriend, we just set up my little area so I can start doing tutorials. So this is my very first tutorial and I'm very excited. I'm pretty satisfied with the results. I definitely will have more. So I usually do my makeup in the bathroom, so it was just trying to get used to the new position and adjust to where the camera was. But when doing your cut creases, you do want to make sure you're a little higher up on the crease, and you know that you are by just opening your eyes like really big. And if any of the concealer gets like above where you're applying the concealer, then you should be making your crease a little higher, if that makes sense. And yeah, on my left side, that cut crease just wasn't the best, but we gonna make the best of it. And just make sure that concealer is applied nice and smooth. And the cut crease basically is for when you want to add another color. You just want that area to pop. So now I'm deciding which Juvias Place palette I would like to use. I just feel like all of her palettes are also must-haves. Very pigmented, especially for women of color. And so I applied, since it's a little space, a little area where I have to apply the color, I applied the yellow with the Morphe M431 brush. The brush is pretty small. It's easy to apply in small areas. Next, I'm going in with an orange color. So the main thing when transitioning between colors, you just don't want a very hard transition. So you would want, like, for example, if you're transitioning from yellow to orange, you want like a yellow, and then you want like a, like a lighter orange, probably something in between yellow and orange, then you want orange. You just don't want a really hard transition. Because it just doesn't look the best. It just really doesn't look the best. Once again, if you want that ombre, that smooth ombre effect, just transition it by color. And then also blend. Right now, just trying to make sure that I am fully covering the concealer that I applied before the eyeshadow. And you just want to make sure you pack the color onto that area. Okay. Next, I'm using Real Techniques. They have really good brushes. I love their brushes as well. I am using the smudge liner. It's like an angle brush to apply blue eyeshadow under my eye. I love these colors. We just came back from Florida, so it's just like my mind is still stuck there. Like, I love these colors. And just try to make everything symmetric as possible, so whatever you do to one eye, do to the other. Like I said, I didn't cut my crease as good as I usually do, but I'm still pretty content with these creases. And yeah, I still like them. You gotta excuse my lace. I know my lace is lifting, y'all. Like I said, we just came back from Florida, and look, I was just thirsty. I'm like, I need to start my tutorial. I want to do this. I don't want to keep procrastinating, keep holding it back. I need to get this started. So I'm like, you know what? Listen, they're going to see me as is. This is what it is, honey. This is what it's going to be. This is me. Okay? Once again, just make sure you're patting down that eyeshadow. Pat it down. You want to get it nice and pigmented so that you can make sure that you're covering the concealer. I'm not doing any eyeliner. I definitely should have, but I just feel like I was already taking a little longer than I needed to. So yeah, I didn't do any eyeliner, but my next videos I definitely will. And I've also primed and moisturized my skin before I started the video. So you definitely, before you apply makeup, you definitely want to make sure that you moisturize your skin, especially if your skin is on the drier side. And mine is. And I am using my Morphe M439 brush. I use this to apply my foundation. It can be used for several other different uses, but I find using this the best for foundation. You just want to make sure that that foundation is evenly applied around the face, even like on the edge of the face, almost where the neck and the face meet, just so that you know, there's a smoother transition from like the color of your neck to your face. I know some people, they have, you know, usually like their face is lighter than their neck, and in my case that's how I am. So and then that same LA Girl Pro concealer, I just applied that. You want to try applying it under your eyes in like more of a triangular shape. I usually do not do this. I usually skip this part. So to me, it felt like I didn't need it. I wasn't too fond of it, to be honest with you. I feel like I applied too much, just put it that way. I feel like if I would apply a little less under the eyes, I would have been more satisfied. Like it was, to me, I kind of had a little flash. What you call it, flashback, something like that. Yeah, you know what I mean. But it was a little too much. I could have left it out. But it's okay. And then just with your beauty blender, you're just gonna go in and pat that down, blend it on in like it was a beauty blender, so blend it on in. And you want to make sure, like, you're looking at it like you're looking at your face from different angles. You really want to make sure you're blending it in really good. Yeah, see, yeah, I like it, but I'm just like, I'm not used to. I usually skip this whole part, but I'm like, I'm gonna do this because I want to do like a full face beat. And just blend that on in. As you can see, it's not blended in really well. And also, when you're using your beauty blender, you want to make sure that it's not soaking wet, of course, but you want to make sure there's some dampness to that blender. I just feel like I put too much under my eyes, and it's kind of bothering me, but we don't have to make it work. Okay. And contouring, which I usually don't do either. But I'm using my Spotlight Fan brush by Real Techniques as well. I really like this brush. It's the perfect brush for highlighting, applying highlight, and contouring. I feel like I did okay with that. And y'all let me know what you think. You know, feel free to add any, you know, tips, any, you know, suggestions. Definitely go right on ahead. And your feedback is appreciated. I feel like I contoured my cheeks pretty well, but like I said, I've never contoured before. To contour, I use my Morphe That's Rich 8R palette, and I didn't even use the one that says contour because I feel like it's too dark. I used the bronzer as a contour, which I could have used an even lighter tone. And then I went in with my fan brush on my nose, which I should have used something smaller because I feel like I contoured too much. I didn't feel like I need that either, but trying to do a little extra. I'm just like, oh my God. And I wanted to use something soft and small, so I just used that same Morphe M514 brush to add the contour along the nose. When you're adding the contour on the nose, you want to make sure like it's aligning up with the eyebrows, so you want to just bring it right along like that side of your nose. That's big. I really don't like talking while I'm doing my makeup. I chose to do a voiceover, and that's why I told them to get out. As you can see, everybody was, no, get out, go. Kids, go. It be like that. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about the contour. I feel like if I would have just like, maybe I just needed to blend it some more. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling that contour. It made me look really iffy, but I overall satisfied. Now I'm baking. I bake with the Morphe Bake and Set setting powder. I use the banana and what is it called? I think it's Rich. It's the actual brown powder. And I mix those. I just feel like the banana makes it look too yellow. Translucent gives you that white ashy look, kind of. And then the Rich, it makes me look too dark. Right now I'm applying my lashes, which I kind of apply them all crazy. But it's the Fantasy Eyes eyelash line. And yeah, they're very dramatic. I didn't really take my time applying them, which I regret, but they are the 25mm and they are a really good brand. I just went under the lining under my eyes just to give it that almost that smoky blue look. I could have went under it with a lighter blue as well. Once again, just to give it that smoky look. Or just used a clean brush and went along the line to diffuse it. Like I absolutely suck at putting my lashes on my left eye, so like the glue just kind of got in places I didn't want it to, but that's okay. And in the inner corner, I am applying, it's like a gold color. It is part of that Jacalyn Hill palette, and it is in the color Talia, so it literally is gold. It's very pretty. I think I was just having the most difficult time with my lashes, y'all. I'm so mad. Okay, after letting the setting powder sit for a bit, went in with my Expert Edge large brush from Real Techniques and just brushed that remaining powder off. You always want to set any area where you apply the concealer. And I'm just outlining my lips with, you can actually get it from your local beauty supply store. It's just a lip liner, and the brand is Absolute New York. Color is Soft Rose. I'm applying the lip gloss, which is Morphe, in the color of Virgin. I'm then applying that. And I use the, by Real Techniques, I use the lip smudge brush. And we are just about done. I'm just gonna kind of play with my hair a little bit just to see if I'm feeling it. And thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. There will be more videos coming soon, and I really appreciate every single last one of you.